Hello everyone! In this video, we are going to take a look at 10 super common English proverbs that native speakers regularly use in their daily conversations. Proverbs are traditional sayings, phrases that express a general truth, a piece of advice, words of wisdom about many aspects of life. But why should we learn proverbs? What has that got to do with English? Well, the reason why I think learning proverbs is a really important aspect of learning a language is simply because proverbs are part of a language. They are the expression of a culture. They tell us about the values and habits of a society. Also, if we want to be able to speak fluently and with a rich vocabulary, we simply cannot avoid proverbs because they are very common. All native speakers know some proverbs and they use them regularly. Also, something that is really fun about proverbs is that many of them exist in different languages, but with some changes here and there. So basically what you get is the same piece of advice, the same teaching, but with different words, with different elements. Now, before we get into the 10 proverbs, I have prepared a PDF that you can download for free with all the proverbs that we are going to go over and their meaning. You can find the link in the description box. I have prepared this PDF with PDF Element, a Wondershare product, which is today's sponsor. With PDF Element, you can easily manage your PDF files all in one app and across all your devices. Some of the things you can do are, for example, annotating a PDF. You can write anything, anywhere you want on the file. Something that I love is that it can recognize the text within the PDF, so you can select it and copy it. You can also edit the existing text and quickly translate it with the translation tool. PDF Element is also great for converting files. So for example, if you want to convert a PDF into a Word document, you can easily do that. If it's something that you need, I really recommend you give it a try. You can download PDF Element by clicking on the link in my description box. You'll get a free trial, and then you can decide for yourself if you want to continue with the unlimited version. Try it out. Now let's get into the 10 English proverbs. The early bird gets the worm. The idea behind this proverb is that the birds that wake up the earliest have the best chance of catching a good meal before the other birds come. Likewise, people who arrive early have a better chance than those who arrive late. This proverb can be used in countless situations where being early is advantageous. For example, wow, where did you find those cushions? They're beautiful. They were on sale at the market. What? I went there this afternoon and I didn't see them. Well, I went there first thing in the morning. Remember, the early bird gets the worm. As you can see, this proverb works really well in this situation, but I'm sure you can come up with loads of other examples as well. Birds of a feather flock together. First of all, this is a feather. And to flock is a verb used to indicate a number of birds flying, traveling together. So what this proverb means is that like-minded people, like birds with the same feathers, often spend time together. Just like a flock of birds, people who share the same interests, people who are similar, will be found together. Sometimes native speakers use this proverb without finishing it. They will say, well, birds of a feather, because the other person probably already knows what they're talking about. This is a very common proverb. So again, you might hear just the first part and it's the same thing. The meaning is the same. Is there a variant of this proverb in your native language? Let me know in the comments. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Native speakers use this proverb when they want to tell you that you should not be rude and you should not be ungrateful to someone who is helping you or who has helped you in the past. So just like you should not bite the hand that is feeding you, you shouldn't treat someone badly, especially if that person is feeding you. That is to say, they are helping you in some sort of way. What is interesting is that in Italian we say non sputare nel piatto in cui mangi, which literally means don't spit where you're eating. So it's two different things. The meaning is the same, and yet the metaphor is always about food and eating. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. To hatch means to break an egg so that a baby animal can come out, in this case, chicks. So this proverb means you shouldn't count on something until you're certain about it. So, for example, you shouldn't make plans before you actually know who's coming, and so on. You shouldn't rush things until you're certain that they will happen. Even in this case, sometimes native speakers will say just the first part of this proverb. So they'll just say, "Don't count your chickens," and the other person will understand. And now you will too. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. This proverb teaches us that we shouldn't put all our efforts into just one thing. We should not depend on a single thing, because if that thing fails, we have nothing left. So we should always have more alternatives, different baskets. For example, let's pretend you're looking for a job. You could say, "I'm applying for several jobs because I don't really want to put all my eggs in one basket." When in Rome, do as the Romans do. This very old proverb means that when you're visiting a foreign country, you should follow the customs of that country. For example, I don't usually drink wine, but when in Rome. And even in this case, people usually say "when in Rome" without the second part because it's just easier this way. Now, this proverb isn't just used when you're traveling. You can also use it when you're in an unfamiliar situation. And in that case, because you don't know what to do, you should follow the lead of those who are already familiar with it. So in a nutshell, you should adapt to the different situations you are in. Actions speak louder than words. This proverb is very true and pretty self-explanatory. It means that what someone does is more important than what someone says. People say many things. They claim that they hold certain values, but then do they really uphold them? It's what someone does, their actions, that really tells us something about their values, their feelings, their intentions. This is a proverb you can use, for example, when someone promises something over and over again, but never keeps that promise. You can say, "No, I don't believe you anymore. Actions speak louder than words." The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. This proverb has to do with parents and children. In particular, it refers to the fact that children tend to display the same characteristics, the same qualities or interests of their parents. They tend to be similar to their parents in the way they behave. So, for example, if you know a musician whose daughter grows up loving music and becomes a musician herself, it just proves the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Practice makes perfect. This is a very short proverb, but very true and very common. If we don't practice something, we'll never be perfect at it. If we want to achieve that level of perfection at something, we need a lot of practice. Even when it comes to language learning, practice is fundamental. Without practice, language is nothing. Whether it be written or spoken, language abilities need to be practiced constantly. And native speakers use this proverb very often, so you will hear it a lot. Slow and steady wins the race. We talked about the importance of practice, but something else that is vital in achieving a goal is time. You need to take your time, and if you proceed slowly and steadily, you are way more likely to win the race, that is, to get what you want. Even if that means taking more time, allow yourself to take as much time as you need. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you like, you can also support my work by sending me a super thanks. Bye!